and that is of course problematic. Alright, so let's finish off with some tips, exam tips and study. I'll try to be quick. So practice papers first. My key thing is do practice papers, do practice questions. There can be, if you're running out of time, I personally put the two together. So if I felt like there were notes that I needed to make, I would make that notes to a practice question. So if one of them, like example, is that example for like a named plant. So I wanted to consolidate my notes. I got a question which was like name a Australian plant, whatever, and then I just wrote like my notes to it and developed an answer to it. Use others' answers to narrow down your answers. If answers that you aren't sure about, start memorizing your answers during the multiple choice during reading time. Like try to remember them as you're reading through it. And of course, ladies, you can use those manicured nails to your advantage. You have that one advantage. And of course, if you've got long nails in general, manicured or not, you can just still use them to like mark the answer with your nails. I mean, yeah, I don't think it personally worked for me because it would take me like a solid 10 minutes to see what I marked at. So I'd be like squinting at my paper, but obviously you can remember it too. General tips: equip yourselves with examples. Examples are the key in biology. Mark allocations are super important as well. So the level of they let you know what the level of detail you want to go in. The structure your extended responses. So for your 8, 9, 10, even 6, 7 markers, structure is important. You want to guide your marker through your writing. You don't want to just, regurgitate everything on the paper. You need to make your arguments clearly. So there's nothing worse than making an examiner wade through a pile of alphabetic soup. So structure, think of it as a mini essay. Finally, get used to the HSC web. So you need to find your own little niche to answer the questions. So how would you go about answering a compare question versus a draw table? Versus like a juxtapose. No, not juxtapose. That's compare. Justify question. Short answer responses, once grade are equal to 4 marks is when you start using paragraph. Get used to generic questions like to describe that, outline this feature, assess this feature. Definition plus example plus explanation is generally 3 marks. If it's a 3 marker, you want to include all 3 elements. Do not be afraid to draw diagrams. I think it's not very conventional, but you can definitely draw them as long as you as long as you talk about it in your response as well. So roughly use 1 to 2 lines for every mark, but you can write more, like you're not restricted. Along with that, you make sure that you know the verbs. Your articulation needs to be good. You need to give me a point and then explain that point, and that comes through with practice, and use as many biological terms as you can. Extended responses, structure, like I said. Examples: a long response should be 1 to 2.5 pages long almost, and legibility. So legibility is important, so that comes back to writing. If you are like not handwriting your answers, you're almost disadvantaging yourself, because that is what you have to do in the HSC. So handwrite your answers. So general structure could be having an intro, having obviously your 3 paragraphs, third one can be optional, and then a conclusion to sum